Shalom, shalom. Man, in today's video, I'm going to ask a very simple question. And it's going to be up to you to examine yourself, examine your life, the way in which you walk to determine, did you give your life up to Messiah? Did you give your life to Yahushua HaMashiach? Did you give your life to Jesus Christ? Did you give your life to the Most High Yah? Man, as we are in this feast of the Passover and unleavened bread, man, I want you to know that we are in the last days. And the Bible showcases the amount of swindlers and hustlers that have gone about since the beginning of time. And not one of us that has stated that we have given our lives up to the Messiah, Yahushua, is going to be able to get away with hustling the Most High Yah or the Messiah. Man, if you look at this picture that I have up, it says, "For Hamashiach, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed." 1 Corinthians 5:7. Man, oftentimes our walk, is not where it should be. Our lips, our mouth, our speech, our words say that we have given our life to Messiah. We make a public declaration in front of people. We're telling family. We're telling friends. We're posting it on our social media that we have declared our lives over to the Most High Yah, over to Messiah, following in that example. The question remains, man, if you gave your life to the Most High Yah, why are you trying to hold on to your former life? Let that marinate. If you gave your life to the Most High Yah, why are you trying to hold on to your former life? It is the things that you hold on to that you truly worship. Man, we don't have any time to play. You don't have any time to play. There's no time for stolen valor. Luke chapter 22, verse 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover, the Pascha, must be killed, the sacrificial lamb. This is the Messiah laying his life down as an example of what we are supposed to do. How could he be an example if he tells us, the Most High Yah tells us to lay our lives down, to give up our lives, and then he sent his S-O-N, his son, the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, but he not do it? This is why in Messiah, we have a perfect example. Man, when you see that word killed, sacrificed. Did you really give your life up to Messiah like he did? Romans chapter 12, verse 1 through 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. What's your excuse? Because once you make that declaration, man, it's game on. It's game on. Man, you should not be a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You should not be in the same spot spiritually that you were in when you made that public declaration of giving your life up. I want you to understand, people will clap for almost anything. Woo! You gave your life up. But those are words. The Most High Yah is expecting action. The Messiah just didn't get up on that cross and say action and then cut and then get off of there. Man, there wasn't no cast behind him to stage play this thing. Makeup team, putting them on there, making them look like Halloween. No. Man, when they nailed him to that doggone tree, man, you're looking at an example of a sacrifice. The Passover lamb. Man, when he was up there, the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, was on that tree nailed, leaking. Man, not once did he think about his flesh. Not once. Not once did he say, man, I got to go to the Roman theater because I got tickets to see a show. Man, when you think about this walk and the call to obedience that's outlined in the word, how you got every excuse in the book why you cannot do what's in the book, but yet you say you gave your life up. Man, like 8,400 people a day die in the U.S. daily. Man, to be a living sacrifice means ready to slaughter, ready to be killed, prepared for death. Man, if death comes your way and it is your time and you're holding on to your former life, the question remains, did you give up your life? Or did you want to fool people? Naive people that don't have the same expectations of being a sacrifice as the example that Hamashiach showed us by being a living sacrifice in the life going out of his body. Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable, the perfect will of Yah. Too much lip service worship going on. Too many people have said, man, I have given my life. But years later, man, you're still following the ways of the world. Where is the evidence? Where is the quantifiable evidence of the renewing of your mind? See, this is more than words. It's not about quoting scripture. Where's the evidence? Evidence of obedience. Evidence of faithfulness. Evidence of righteousness. What did you give up? See, man, we have far too many people that are so-called giving up their life, but you ain't giving it up. You ain't giving it up. You coming with some half-ass proposition rooted in the wickedness of your heart, and you think that the Most High Yah, if he sent his son to lay down his life on that cross, you coming with this half-ass wicked heart proposition that you're going to make a public declaration and not really have to do shit. You expect the blessings, the abundance of the kingdom to be poured down on you with a half-ass proposition. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Man, we are supposed to be bringing our bodies, bringing this flesh into obedience. Same obedience that Hamashiach carried out. Man, how you give your life to the Most High Yah and you got last year's mindset? How do you still have the mind of a heathen? If you truly gave your life up, your mind would be renewed. The pure divine wisdom will be poured out unto you, but yet you ain't got it. Yet you ain't walking in it. Matthew chapter 10, verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. See, Messiah had to stop and let folk know. Let me go over here real quick. He had to stop and let folk know. You're not going to be following me like a groupie trying to eat off the blessing of this sacrifice. That's reserved for the righteous, for the remnant, for the obedient. Luke chapter 14, verse 26 through 27. If anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife, children, brothers, sisters, yes, even their own life, such person cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not carry their cross, preparing for persecution, and follow me cannot be my disciple. Man, the price for your new life is your old life. And if you're holding on to your old life, just as I'm looking at you in this camera, you got to be able to answer the question and stomach. Did you really give your life up to the Most High Yah? Did you really give your life up like Messiah gave his? What are you holding on to? Is it a house? Is it a car? Is it status? Is it a career? Is it family? This is the stuff right here that will stop you dead in your tracks from following lockstep in the path of Messiah. Can't have anything in between you being a living sacrifice in the Most High Yah. That's who you're going to bow down to. It's who you're going to worship. Not your father, not your mother, not your wife, not your children, your brothers. I want you to understand when you truly live this thing out, it ain't no kumbaya of lip service. Did you see anybody else running to climb up there and say, hey, I want to follow that guy and get nailed to the cross? But oftentimes what we do in lip service, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. And ain't nobody laying it down. Man, whatever made that guy who knew no sin, nor was guile found in his mouth, accept the fact that he was about to be, sacrificed as the sacrificial lamb. Is that the same thing you gave your life up for? Because he calls us to be a living sacrifice. Matthew chapter 10, verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. How you still 10 years later, 5 years later, still partaking in all this idolatry, celebrating holidays and all kind of foolishness that the Most High Yah has told you not to doggone keep. Follow not the way of the heathen. I gave my life up to God. Bringing that tree in your house. Got them Easter bunny eggs all in your yard. I gave my life to Jesus. Man, this is serious business. This is serious business. And I want people to truly understand, what this thing is going to look like. Let me give an example. When you have given your life up. Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. And a man's foe, your enemy, shall be they of his own household. Don't the word say you will be hated for my name's sake? And you think this thing supposed to be peaches and cream? Problem is, man, you trying to be loved by the world. This is the reason why your faith is struggling. This is the reason why conviction is not at the focal point of your life on a daily basis. This is why you avoid reading the word, because you know it's going to tell you what to do and how to walk. But you possibly never intended on actually walking. You just wanted to make a public declaration to fool folk of who you truly are. Whole head faint. Heart sick. Wicked. Man, I don't doubt that you gave your life up. But when you answer that question for yourself, man, it's going to be obvious. You might have gave your life up to some other gods of Roman Greek mythology, but you didn't give your life to the Most High Yah. You have to ask yourself, man, in the last 24 hours, what did I do that was according to the will of Yah? In the last, week, what did I do that was according to the will of the Yah? Matter of fact, the last year, What did I do in my walk that was according to the will? How did I advance in this thing? And if you haven't advanced, man, you haven't given your life up. If more divine wisdom hasn't been added unto you, you haven't given your life up. How are you giving up your life and the first thing you do is seek the way of the world in the morning instead of seeking the Most High Yah? How did you give your life up, but you don't have the desire to get to know Abba? You running to Facebook first thing you wake up, running to YouTube, running to Instagram, running to Netflix. Man, we got folk that have so-called given their lives up 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Still making that half-ass declaration, still don't know Yah. But you got a choice. The example that Hamashiach set is not a hard one. It's not a complicated one to understand, to grasp. He says, lo, I come in the volume of the book. The whole book is written of me. So even when they was keeping the Passover in the Old Testament, people don't even draw the correlation to the renewed covenant. It's time for the Passover to be killed, to be slaughtered. James chapter 1, verse 22 through 25. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. How did you give your life up, but yet you ain't touching the word? You got weeks, months go by when you haven't tried to get that word stored up in you. How is that so? This is the reason why you've made a public declaration and you've got people coming to you asking for some of that assistance that should be flowing through you, but you don't have the divine wisdom to give them because you ain't been in that word. And you give them a piece of carnal mind. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, what sound good. And it ain't the word. Ain't nobody drawing near to Hamashiach. Ain't nobody drawing near to the Most High Yah through your walk because you don't have the word stored up in you. You're not walking, you're not living. There is no obedience to the word. You still got a fence in your heart against the Most High Yah and his word. Man, his word calls for change. And your flesh is fighting against it. Fighting against it. You read something that calls you to change, stops you from picking up that book for another 2 months. Rather than accepting it and stomaching it, man, I'm jacked up. This word showed me that I'm jacked up. Rather than stomaching it, what do? Oh, that can't be right. What version is it? I don't agree with the tone. I don't agree with this. And you gave your life up. Come on. You got to examine yourself. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso look into the perfect law of liberty, and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. Matthew chapter 7, verse 17 through 20. Even so, every good tree bringeth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Examine your life. Examine your life. You say you gave it up. You say you received the Ruach HaKodesh. What kind of fruit are you bearing? If it's the same kind of fruit you bearing before you gave your life up, man, that's evidence, man. You didn't give nothing up. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Is your mind idle? Is your mind idle? If your mind is idle and not focused on Yah and his kingdom, this is why your fruit will continue to be evil, to be wicked, to be not be good fruit. See, let me show you. Let me give you an example. A man will say, man, I gave my life up to God. Now I'm focused on being a better father. Sounds good on the surface, but behind the scenes, you're still teaching your sons and daughters lawlessness. Still haven't got your house up to the standard that the Most High Yah wants you to. Man, we shouldn't have some of these ongoing, lingering problems if we got so many people that have declared to give their life up. How do you as a woman have problems submitting to your husband, but yet you made a public declaration that you gave your life up? That means you gave your life up for the will of somebody else. The word says the husband has rule over you. Your desire should be unto him. Why you still got a problem with it? Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits you shall know them. You're going to be able to determine who is who by their fruit. You got some people that came into this talking about I gave my life up to be liked by the world. And they will not bear no good fruit. They will bear carnal fruit, worldly fruit, earthly fruit, sensual fruit, devilish fruit. But no fruit that's pure and divine, blessed by the Most High Yah. Man, this is just another message to let you know that, man, we are supposed to be striving for mastery. And if you came into this with a half-ass declaration, well, this is the piece of my life I want to get up. The rest of my life is off limits. I want you to understand, man, we all have work to do. Messiah, the sacrificial lamb, was the perfect example. Newsflash, you're not the perfect example. We're supposed to be following lockstep. But let me show you when that ABS, let me show you when that anti-lock brake system, traction control starts to slow you down. That's the ways of the world and the things that are in the world. Oh, I can't keep the Shabbat. Man, that's when college football is on. Oh, I ain't gonna be able to keep the feast. Man, I was supposed to go on a guy's trip. Oh, I can't give that up. That's near and dear to my heart. See, that flesh start putting the brakes on it. On you actually presenting yourself as a living sacrifice when your flesh has not been brought into the obedience of a Mashiach. Most High Yah, the Messiah, man, they ain't looking for no groupies. Man, they're looking for some true, soldiers, women and men of Yah. Got far too many men and women giving lip service, but are not increasing in righteousness. Their righteousness is as little as the Pharisees, and the Pharisees was called hypocrites. That's why the word says, if your righteousness does not exceed that of the Pharisees, you shall in no wise inherit the kingdom of the Most High Yah. You got to understand why the Pharisees was doing what they was doing. It was to be seen by man, was to have the best seats in the synagogue. Come on in, Pharisees, sit down. We reserve these seats for you. Standing ovation. Man, if you gave your life up to the Most High Yah, you wouldn't be seeking your validation out by man or woman. You wouldn't be doing it. You wouldn't be craving all this attention. Man, you would be putting your hand to the plow. See, one thing about living an agricultural life is I realize, man, people's lips will fake work. But when we look out to that field, and that field is unplowed, and you come in here bumping them gums talking about you been putting your hands to the plow, no sir. No sir. Most of y'all is just not taking your word for it. He's going to verify. Let's look at the condition of this field. Soil should be turned over, but it ain't. As hard as it was 5 years ago. Man, and that's the way many people enter into that declaration. Lip service, not actually giving up nothing, not actually desiring to face the persecution that he tells you is coming. Examine yourselves and realize, man, you may be able to fool everybody else. Your spouse, your children, your co-workers, your congregation. You might be able to fool everybody. But if you ain't putting the work in on a daily basis, when you meet Hamashiach at that judgment seat, and every work, every idle word, whether it be good or bad, is brought into an account, you ain't going to be able to fool Hamashiach, who actually did the very same thing that he told you to do. See, in Messiah being that Passover lamb, we don't have what we see today, which is half-ass leadership. A half-ass example. No, we don't have that. You're looking at somebody that knows what the pinnacle of persecution was. Why? Because he faced it. He tells you that this world is going to hate you. Maybe you don't want to be a living sacrifice because your excuse is depression, sadness, loneliness. Man, you got to be prepared to walk alone. Understand that some of these relationships are not meant to go the distance. Some of these friends you have are seasonal. Some of these people in your life will be the Judas to your righteousness. You got to know that you can't match energy of these lawless people, because you're going to have to give an account. Man, the only thing I'm asking you today, as strong as this message was, is to when you get to Judgment Day, and I don't know when that day will be for you. Man, I don't want you watching this, brothers and sisters out there. Man, I don't want you to miss out on your name being in that Lamb's Book of Life because you don't have any quantifiable evidence of walking how he called you to walk. I don't want him to look at your record and see that you turned back. I don't want him to look at your record and see that it was all lip service. Like the word says, these people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Man, I want it to read for you, brothers and sisters, to where when they look at the record and you give an account, man, your life looks completely different than the way of the world. The testimonies of people that have come into the obedience, come into the faithfulness of Messiah by how they saw you walk and the example you set forth. The servant leadership you displayed as a man or a woman. Your obedience to the word rather than trying to justify your rebellion. Examine yourselves. Examine yourselves. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. Your lips might have said that you gave your life up, but your actions may show otherwise. Closer to y'all ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight.